Hi dear students, today we will discuss about classes and objects. Classes and objects in Python. So first of all we will see what is a class and what is a object, then how to create a class and how to create a object, then we will see how to access that variables which are available within the class. Okay, that we will see here. What is a class? How you can define a class? We can define a class in many ways. Okay, first we will define a class which is a collection of data members and methods. Which is a collection of data members and methods. Class is a collection of data members and methods, or we can say class is a blueprint of an object. Why I can define in this way? While you are seeing the examples, then you can understand this one. Okay, so blueprint means, for example, if you want to construct a building, first you will have a design for that building. Okay, that printout, that blueprint we'll call as a class, and so you can see the building after construction of that building, so that we'll call as a object. Why object? Is physically exists so that we can view, right? So that is called object. Here object means real world entity. What is an object? Object is what? Real world entity. You can say real world entity. So classes and objects are the two main aspects of object oriented programming, and a class creates a new data type, and here object is an instance or a variable of the class. Classes provides a blueprint or a template using which objects are created. In Python, everything is an object or an instance of some class. In Python, everything is an object or an instance of some class. So we will see here how to create a class. So what is the syntax for creating class? So first you should write class and some class name. Class and some class name. Open that one. Then you can have number of statements. Statement 1, next statement 2, and so on. Statement n. What the point? Statement n. So this is the syntax to create a class. This is the structure. Okay, so how we can create an object? So that we will see. Okay, so in this class we are having, I said class is a collection of data members and methods, right? Collection of data members and methods, right? So here we can write data members. Data members means we can say it's a attributes, properties or variables. So if you are writing that variables within the class, then these variables are called as class variables. Mainly we have two types of variables. Variables are two types. What are those two types? First one is what? class variable. Second one is what? Second one is object variable. Object variable, and will also called as instance variable. Object variable or instance variable. And within that class, I said, right, so class variables, and what we have? Methods. Data members and methods, I said, right, methods. That methods will call as class methods. Class methods. Methods also we are having three types: class methods, instance methods, and static methods. We have three types of methods. Okay, that we will discuss later. First we will see how to create a class, and within the class we can create a variable, then we can create an object, then we will access that variable by using that object. Okay, right. So class methods means functions defined inside a class are called class methods. Functions defined inside a class are called what? Class methods. Here we are having class members. Okay, so a class create a new data type, object is an instance, and class provides blueprint. Okay, that topics we have discussed, right? So here a class creates a new local namespace where all its attributes, means data and functions, are defined. So that example we can see. So you know how to create object? Do you know how to create? What is the syntax we need to follow? First we can write object name equal to class name. Object name equal to class name. Okay, so that means here what you are doing? So here you are creating what? You are creating empty object. Empty object you are creating. Okay, so this is, in this way you can create class, and in this way by using this syntax you are creating object. So how I can access that variables available within the class after creating the object? So object reference means object name dot operator we should use. Dot operator we should use. Then that variable name, or if it is a method, reference dot method name. So for accessing we should use dot. We should use dot operator. The object can access class variables and methods using what? Dot operator. This dot operator, we should use this dot operator. Syntax, what is the syntax? So here I can show you the syntax. Object name dot class member name. Class member name we can use, so that we can access that values. Okay, so creating an object or instance of a class is known as class instantiation. Class instantiation means what? Class instantiation means creating an object or instance of a class. Creating an object or instance of a class is called class instantiation. Is called what? Class instantiation. Class instantiation. Okay, so this is called class instantiation, means you are creating a object by using this syntax. If you see the example so that you can understand easily, so I will show. I am using Python IDE. So here I will show you the example how to create a class. And I'll go to file, new. So here I am writing the code class. What is the syntax for creating a class? Class name I am taking some ABC. Then within the class we need to follow indentation. The variables must available in the class. So I am creating one variable where the variable name where I am initializing some value 10. After that, outside of this class we need to create a object. Okay, so here object name equal to class name. Class name is what? ABC. Okay, ABC. That means what? You have created a instance of class, means you have created a object. Now how we can access that value which is available in the class? How I can access the value which is available in the class? So reference we need to use. What is the object name? obj dot, then what is the variable name? Data member name where, right? So that I want to print, I want to see that output in the console, so that I'm using print here, print function. Okay, so now I can execute this one. I can see the value is 10. First I need to save this one, file, save as, use some name abc.py, then you can click on run button, run module, you can see output as 10. Got the point? So this is the syntax you need to follow for creating a class, and you are created a data member or variable, then you are created an object for that class, you are creating instance for that class, and then by using that instance you are calling the value. Got the point? Next, so how you can create a method? How we can create a method? Next topic is what? Next topics we can see next topic we can see class methods and self argument. Class methods and self arguments. Okay, here class methods must have the first argument named as self. So class methods must have first argument name as what? Self. Self is the first argument that is added to the beginning of parameter list, and do not pass a value for self when we call a method. Here the Python provides its value automatically. The self argument refers to the objects itself. Self argument means what? It refers to the objects itself, that is object that has called the method. So that we can see with the example. So that means what? While you are creating a method means you should use first argument as self. You no need to pass any value. Python provides its value automatically. Okay, so self represents what? Objects itself. Okay, right. With the example, if you see, then you can understand. Go to IDLE. I'm creating another file, new file. So class and class name ABC, and I can use in this way also, no problem. You will not get any error. So var equal to 10. I have initialized the variable. So within that you are creating what? Method, right? So method means what is the syntax we need to follow? def keyword, next display method. So within the display method, what is the first argument? That must be a self. self argument. Then start the method. Within that method you can write one print statement to see the message in class method. Okay, in class method you can write within the double quotation, right? Then so how I can call this method and variable? So first you need to create what? Object for that class. How I am creating? So reference object obj equal to the class name ABC. Class name is what? ABC. Next, then I want to display that variable. How I can display? Within the console print of obj means object reference, means object name dot variable name. Dot operator we should use to access the variables or methods. So, and I want to call the method which I have created here, display method. How I can call? So reference is what? Object name is what? Obj dot method name. Okay, then I can call method. Then what will be the output? So obj dot var means it will go here, this class name ABC, then the variable value is 10, then variable value we can bring it. Next we are calling obj from ABC class, and which method we are calling? Display method, ABC class, then display method. Within that we are having in class method. This will print here. Okay, so first we need to save this program. Save as abc1.py, some name you can give. Save, then run this program, run module. See here you are getting the variable value and the statement which is available within the method, that method available in the class. So in this way we can access the methods. Okay, so that is about self argument also. So what is the self argument? This self argument means refers the objects itself. Okay, this is the first argument available in the any method. Okay, that must be a first argument. Okay, right. Next is we can see next topic we can see, that is the init method. So init method means we should use double underscore init double underscore then method symbol. So if you are using this one means you are creating a constructor. Okay, this is a class constructor. See, class constructor. So what is the meaning of init method? If you are using init method means you are creating a constructor, class constructor. So here the double underscore init double underscore method is automatically executed when an object of class is created. When object of a class is created, automatically the init method will be executed. The method is useful to initialize the variables of class objects, and the method can be declared as def double underscore init double underscore, first one self argument, next another variables you can give. Okay, you see the example so that you can understand these points. So I'm going for ideally and go to file and new file I'm taking. Here we can see the example. Okay, how to create a constructor, how to initialize the value. Okay, right, how to create a class name. Okay, class name, then I can give here in this way, no problem. Then def keyword double underscore init double underscore then method. This is a init method. Init means initialization. Okay, so within that method, within this method, so first argument is what? Self argument. Then some variable, some value we can, means we can take another variable. Okay, variable 1, variable 2, or value 1, value 2, etc. you can give. I have taken only one value. Okay, now open that method. Okay, now here I can print some statement by using print function. So here I can write in class method, in class method. Okay, right. Now, so what I said, self argument, self dot val equal to val variable. So here we are passing the value, right? That value we are storing here. Okay, right, so that we can get current value. Okay, next print statement. Within this I can use print statement to print some message. So the value is, and I can print this one separate with comma value. I am going to print here. Okay, right. After that, so how we can execute this one? Directly can I execute? No, first we need to create a object, obj reference, then class name is what? ABC. Class name is ABC. Okay, now how you are passing the value to constructor? Here in this object I am passing some value 20. Okay, so that means this is calling ABC. So this is the constructor, the value is what? 20. So print statement in class method, then we are assigning this value to this one, so that I can get the value here. I can print that value, you can observe. So first I need to save this one file, save as, then abc3.py. No need to give .py, automatically it takes because we are using ideally. Okay, now you can run this, run module. See, in the class method the value is 20. In the class method the value is 20. So in this way we can access the values. So we can initialize the values to the constructor. Okay, ABC object you are passing a value, the constructor we can access that value. So if you are using this one means you are directly passing values to the constructor. Whenever you are creating object means the automatically the constructor will execute. Automatically the constructor will execute. Got the point? This is the point you can remember. Whenever you are creating object means, so if there is a kind of constructor, that constructor will execute automatically. That point we have discussed already. Okay, so what are the points we can remember here? What are the points we can remember here? So init method is automatically executed when object of a class is created. When object of class is created, the method is useful. This method is useful to initialize the variables of the class object. So the method can be declared by using def, then $init then self argument, comma number of arguments we can pass in this way. So these are the points you can remember. Okay, next, so in this way we can execute the program also. I think you have understood this program. Next topic we can see, the next topic is what? Class variables and object variables. I have already said, right? Class, we have two types of variables, class variable and object variable. Object variable, or we can say instance variable. From class variables we will also call as static variable. Class variables also called as static variables, or object variables are also called as instance variables. Instance means object only, right? So instance variables we will call. Okay, so here the variables, so the variables which are available in the class, those are called class variables. So here we are having two types of variables. First one class variable, second one object variable. Okay, class variable means what? How we can define it? Class variables are owned by class. Class variables are owned by class. Then and object variables are owned by each object. Object variable are owned by each object. Okay, class variables owned by class only. So here we are having some important points. Those are, if a class has n object, then there will be n separate copies of object variable, as each object will have its own object. So the object variable is not shared between the objects, and a change made to the object variable by one object will not be reflected in another object. If a class has one class variable, then there will be a one copy only for that variable, and all the objects of that class will share the class variable. Since there exists a single copy of a class variable, any change made to the class variable by an object will be reflected in all other objects. Okay, those are the some important points. We have one example so that you can understand that one also. Here we can go for ideally file, new file, then here you can write the program class name. Okay, class name, then this is what this is class variable. Okay, initializing 0 with 0. This is what? This is a class variable. Okay, next one. So method, the constructor. How we can get constructor? By using by using init method, init double underscore, init double underscore. Here we should give double underscore. Okay, init, and the first argument must be a self argument, next to some variable we can say. Then this is a constructor. Now class variable you can use. How we can access class variable? abc dot class underscore variable. Okay, that is class variable that I am incrementing every time 1. Then so object variable we need to create. Object variable, how we can create? By using self dot var equal to variable which we are passing here. So this is called what? This is a object variable. Okay, these are class variables which are available within the class. So these are this is object variable owned by the object for each object. Okay, that we can see. Okay, this is called object variable. So print both one, print of, in the double quotation, the object variable is, then here you can separate with comma, variable you can print. Okay, print of the value of class variable. The value of class variable is, then separate with comma, class variable. How we can access? abc dot class underscore variable. So when it will execute, we should pass the values. First we need to create object, right? How we can create an object? So first obj1. Okay, obj1, class name is abc. You are passing some value, 10 I am passing. Same way I am creating number of objects. Okay, number of objects I am creating. So 3 objects I have created, object 2 and object 3. Now I am passing 3 values, right? So first I need to save this program abc4.py. so I can execute this program actually. So if you run this program, you will get output file run module. So for everything I have given same value, right? I can change here. So each object having different value. So run module. See the output. The object of variable is 10. The object, so you can see side by side. See here, the object variable is 10. The object variable is 10. Then the value of class variable is what? Initially 1. Then the object of variable is what? 20. Then the value of class variable 2 incremented to. Then value of the object value variable is 30. Then the value of class variable is 3 incremented 3. Okay, so here what you can remember is that one in class variable and object variable. What is a class variable and what is a object variable? So class variable means the variable which is available within the class, or we can say the class variable are owned by a class and object variables are owned by each object. Okay, got the point? I think you understood this one. So these are the some important points we have discussed. Okay, we have number of examples. We will see in the next session. Till this what you learn here means, so what is a class, what is an object, and the variables which is available within the class, those are class variables, and the variables are owned by the object for each object, so those are called object variables or instance variables. So we have seen the syntax, how to create it and all. So then we have created methods with the self argument. Okay, while you are creating a method means must have a self argument. That self arguments also must be in the first position of method. Okay, first position in the method argument. Okay, then we have created a constructor. How we can create a constructor in Python means by using init method, _init method. Okay, so init means initialization. Next we have seen the class variables and object variables. Some important points we have discussed, and we have discussed this example, class variables and object variables. Okay, done.